I'll go ahead and cue us in.
Mhm.
I'm gonna just before we start, I'm gonna organize this for introductions. We're gonna go Max then you Troy. That way we're not playing the guessing game.
That's the best part.
um, I don't know about the best
I'm
part. It's
kidding.
a
Yeah,
part of
no, I
every
know.
$1 million media episode. Hello and welcome to another episode of $1 million Media. I am your sometimes host Emily, and today we're going to be talking about the Oscars. There's three of us here today. I'm Emily, and with me I have
Hey, it's
Terrell Franklin.
hi. It's me, Max.
excellent,
I fucked
and
that
we
up.
still messed it up.
I fucked it
Anyways,
up. I fucked it up. I know. I
I'm
know.
so proud of us. So today we're going to be doing our normal annual breakdown of the Oscars. We did one last year, and I'm looking forward to doing one this year. So before we get into anything specific, I want to ask you guys, just broadly speaking, how'd you feel about the show this year? Like the actual ceremony itself. I'm curious.
I'm gonna let Trey go first.
I can go first. Yeah, the production, like the production of the show, I don't know what was going on. There's a few like hiccups here and there, and then it's just Conan. Like they didn't know what to do. And that's like behind the scenes, behind the stage issue. Awards and acceptances, like nothing caught me all the way off guard in that regard. I felt like everything was a coin toss, and the only thing that did catch me off guard was how many people were just absolutely like destroying Chalamet.
Yeah, oh yeah.
On that note, I totally understand the response that he got for that, and I'm with it. But it is not the reason why he lost tonight. I'm just gonna say that straight up.
Correct.
No.
It's nice to like have someone get a little bit of comeuppance. Like you say stupid shit, you get stupid results. I wouldn't say he got canceled or anything like that. Far from it. I just think that it was just a moment of like, oh yeah, he said something dumb and he's paying for it. And to be fair, I'll give him credit for this. He rolled with the joke.
Yeah, he did. And I think, like, watching Chalamet's response, it kind of confirmed what I already felt about that whole incident,
Mhm.
which is that I don't think that he was trying to be an asshole, but he definitely came off as an asshole.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it happens, but he came off pretty poorly, and those were some pretty deserved shots. So even though I really liked him and Marty Supreme, I'm really not too mad at the fact that they were kind of lambasting him for that one.
Yep.
It's just like a case of like very bad PR moment.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I think that that's been, and we should talk about the actual awards here in a second, so I'll try to wrap this up. But I think that that's been kind of in line with Chalamet's vibe for the whole of Marty Supreme's press tour, right? Like he's been going a little bit off script, trying to come off like he's not media trained or like he's authentic or whatever. And as it turns out, adopting that kind of brash and arrogant persona to the public can sometimes have consequences.
Yep.
We fuck around and we find out in Hollywood.
Yep.
Rather than lingering on Chalamet himself, we should probably start talking about the actual awards. It was a big night to be two movies, pretty much for the most part.
Pretty much.
And I mean, we knew this going into the ceremony, but it was really a clash of the titans between Sinners and One Battle After Another, and I guess Frankenstein, which won way more awards than I was frankly thinking that it would. But I think it was a real surprise to see how much Frankenstein appeared in the technical category and showed out in that technical category.
I mean, if there's any film this year, I would say Frankenstein would be it.
Yeah.
As much as I love Sinners, and I'll just say it right now, I still haven't seen One Battle, so I'm gonna stay out of that conversation as much as I can. That being said, Frankenstein created that aesthetic and that gothic horror look. There's no film this year that is like Frankenstein. As I said, I love Sinners. It has a particular look, but it's something that it's based on certain parts of reality. And also the makeup is still really good, but like there's a difference between the makeup that the vampires had in that movie versus Jacob Elordi spending 400 hours in a makeup chair.
Yeah.
Head to toe.
When they said that out loud,
yeah.
That made, like, as soon as they said that out loud, I'm like, geez, 400 hours. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. It's well deserved, in my opinion. Like, all the technical categories, except for visual effects. But when you're going up against Avatar in a year of visual effects, they're just winning. I don't like that movie, but they're winning.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I think that kind of contributes to a broader trend that I saw with the Best Picture race this year, which is I do think it was really unfortunate that Sinners did not manage to pick up quite as much momentum with the technical side of the Academy. Right, like we obviously saw it take home some big wins for things like screenplay and lead actor and all that. But I think for a movie that had so much great stuff going on technically, that was an angle that it could have worked that might have made it easier to lead to a Best Picture win. And I think having to compete with other movies like Frankenstein and Avatar probably hindered its chances a bit, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, and I guess I'll ask Trey specifically about this, but we probably need to talk about the big thing of the night, which is One Battle After Another, ultimately winning Best Picture, surprising a number of people, although not everybody. How do you feel about that choice? I'm curious.
Yeah, I kind of expected it to be one of those choices. The Academy is, I want to say, like, for lack of a better term, notorious for kind of like giving a gimme award for like people who are very good in the industry but haven't won the award when they should have. Even One Battle's main male lead, Leo DiCaprio, is an example of that for like films like The Revenant. PTA does deserve to be in like a great director's conversation, of course. Was this the movie to do it, especially with all these titans? I am not too sure. I do feel like it was a coin toss. I think it was deserved. I think if this movie dropped in any year like 2022, maybe 2024, or like if the 2024 Oscars, it would have been a no doubt definite winner.
No, 100%. I agree. I think One Battle is in an interesting place because it feels, at least to me, it felt very bad to see what was obviously a legacy award go out for Best Picture in a year that had a lot of really good movies, you know?
Yeah.
And no shade to Paul Thomas Anderson, but like, I've seen plenty of Paul Thomas Anderson movies, and I liked a lot of other ones that he's done more. Not that One Battle After Another is bad, but it feels weird that this is the one that he won Best Picture for to me, and not something like There Will Be Blood, right?
Yeah.
So it feels a little off to me, but again, One Battle After Another is a good movie. I think it's like not undeserving of Best Picture, so I'm not too mad at it, but I don't know. Something about the choices has rubbed me the wrong way ever since it happened yesterday. I still can't quite articulate why, but
I haven't seen the movie, but I do think that this, if we could compare it to one other franchise that Ryan Coogler has worked on, it is kind of like a Creed situation or a Rocky situation that like Sinners may not have won, but it's definitely the people's choice.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's the movie that I've seen more people talk about. I have like it's become an ongoing joke in like my close friend group where I will constantly bring it up. I am that annoying about it. Yeah, sure, One Battle won, but like I think more people are going to talk about Sinners than One Battle. Like I think there's one, that film has more of a legacy to it. And I also think it won, the categories it did win were the ones that like it should have won. Like for best screenplay and cinematography, and then we'll get to it, best actor. But like those are the ones where I'm like, if you were to win any awards tonight that aren't the big ones, those are the ones that like have some staying power.
That's true. Although missing out on director was pretty painful and frankly, in my opinion, baffling.
Yeah.
Again,
to me, that was the only snub of the night.
Really? So we'll get into the other categories that have generated some reaction in a second, but I definitely agree that was one of the biggest snubs. Again, it felt like a situation where Paul Thomas Anderson won that award, not because One Battle After Another is a uniquely, brilliantly directed movie, but because he's never won for directing before, and that's a sham. And it is a sham. Like, to be clear, the fact that Paul Thomas Anderson had not won an Oscar up to this point is ridiculous. But the overcorrection that happened at this show, like it always is, was equally ridiculous and frustrating.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, I also think, like, this does lead for Coogler. I think he will make another great movie. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. He will get an Oscar for it, and it will be like it will be his moment like that. I
100%.
think I maybe not. I wouldn't want him to win just purely on legacy, but I think like down the road he is going to win. There's no doubt in my mind that he is going to win all of them one year. Like he's going to get the Best Picture. He's going to get that. We're just waiting at this point.
Yeah, in 10 or 15 years, we'll be watching another Oscars ceremony, and Ryan Coogler will be winning every award because he hasn't won it yet. and we'll be thinking to ourselves,
Yeah, it'll be the same kind of moment. It'll be like
Mhm.
he should have won it for Sinners, but then it's going to be like a movie that is like, yeah, this is a good one, but it's
Mhm.
like it's probably not a sweep.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And similar to that, moving on to Best Actor, I think that we will probably see Timothy Chalamet in that situation someday in the future. Because my God, he keeps getting nominated for Best Actor and he keeps not winning it. It's almost impressive at this point. He tries so hard
Mhm.
to be this guy, this like super driven, like I'm all about acting, I'm going to be one of the greats. And he's just like, he's always a few centimeters short of someone else's performance. And it's got to be brutal. Like, I feel for him. Michael B. Jordan, that was a deserved win, I got to
Oh,
say.
he deserved that. So, like, I mean, we talked about it on the show before, but the way he is able to make two characters feel so different yet related is just so impressive. Not only on a technological level, which you got to give credit to the artists who helped that performance, but just him on his own being able to make Smoke and Stack feel like they are two different characters with their own wants, their own dreams, their own loves, their own this, like, and that's why I also think the screenplay really is that good. But yeah, he killed it. It's a performance that, like, it's so good you almost don't appreciate it on the first watch because it feels so natural. Like, he has chemistry with himself. So, like, you're just like, oh yeah, that's it. That's just a separate guy. But then when you realize, oh no, he is acting against, I wouldn't say nothing because there's someone there, and I'll try to see if I can find the name of the actor who is the body double. But like, that is a very impressive performance when you really, really think about it, and he deserved that.
I think he like has just entered a peak in his career.
Yes.
For a while, like he was kind of like a character actor, especially in TV shows or like I forget what that movie is called with Keanu Reeves and the baseball coach.
Oh,
Like he
yeah,
was
yeah.
like a young kid actor, and then kind of
Uh-huh.
like became character actor, and then once Fruitvale and Creed kind of came, it was just like, oh, like now he gets to be like pretty boy heartthrob,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't. I think they tried to like move him out of that with things like Without Remorse, or like even with Black Panther. But like once he got this role, this was 100% like the one to where he's kind of being like, take me serious. So I
Yeah.
do think this has entered a peak. I think we're gonna see like 2, 3, maybe even 4 projects of like his best absolute work
Well,
before we kind of see like what that is, what his later career is gonna look like.
I know this year he is working on a remake of the Thomas Crown Affair, which he is starring and directing in.
That'll be cool.
I'm excited to see that because I did really like his directing in Creed 3 for a first time directing job. Like, that was a very impressive film, especially like, again, in a series that, like, and but to be fair, he's been working on those films. That's the third film in that franchise that he is a part of. So there's, like, he knows how those work in front of and behind the camera, but it's still a really good job. So I'm kind of excited to see him dip his toe into something that's not one, a sports or slash action movie, and something that's a little bit more. I don't know much about Thomas Crown Affair, but from the name of it, it sounds not like there's going to be a lot of punching going on. So I'm excited to see him do that, and who knows, maybe he might get another Oscar the next year if it's that good.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I definitely think Michael B. Jordan becoming a fixture at this event is something that is likely to happen.
Oh, definitely.
Just because I do agree, I think he's hitting a stride in his career, and I'm very excited to see what he does next. And that being said, I do also want to mention, with the other hand, that while I wouldn't say that he necessarily deserved to win, Timothy Chalamet was great in Marty Supreme, and he'll get that Oscar eventually. It'll happen someday. It might be for some bullshit movie he doesn't care about, but he'll get it someday.
Yeah, he's the new Leo in a lot of ways.
There was a very good metaphor that I saw someone post the other day, that this is the equivalent of this is Timmy's equivalent of losing for Dog Day Afternoon, and he will win for some equivalent of Sensible Woman later on in his career.
Oh, yeah.
All right, before we go on to lead actress, which I have a lot of opinions on, if you can guess, we got to talk about our odd couple of Amy Madigan and Sean Penn for supporting actor and actress, respectively.
Well, Sean Penn's not here, so should we even talk about it?
Yeah, Sean Penn wasn't there, and I think that you could have given that Oscar to anybody who was also there, right? Or like cared, right? And that's the other thing is Sean Penn has 3 Oscars, and frankly, I'm going to be so honest, I think his performance was the weakest of the 5, even though I really liked it. when I made that One Battle After Another review, I was like, he's going to win supporting actor because he does a good job. He does do a good job, but the more that I've taken time to reflect and look back on that movie, the less and less I have been enamored with his performance, and the more I've come to appreciate all of the other nominees who I think kind of acted circles around him, frankly.
And people who weren't even nominated.
Yeah.
It was a very status, like, I think Best Picture and Supporting Actor is very, like, I think the Academy was like, okay, well, this is pretty status quo of what we're used to, and like this is what a winner looks like. And I feel like that has its drawbacks. I feel like Sean Penn's performance, like, well, One Battle After Another is kind of like old school Hollywood type of tale, like the way it's like the storytelling is. So like when you kind of give these awards, that's kind of the lens I'm viewing in it.
I agree, but I watched Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value. I watched Delroy Lindo in Sinners. Right. I even watched Benicio del Toro in that same movie. Yeah. And I'm just so much more compelled by their performances than I am by Sean Penn acting a little weird.
Yeah.
And also, like, I think it's worth noting that Sean Penn is kind of an asshole. And so it makes the win feel even more frustrating.
Kieran Culkin seemed not to like that award.
Yeah, he seemed pretty snarky as he typically is.
Oh yeah, my favorite part of that is that, and this happened a lot throughout the night, is a lot of actors covering their asses at like certain moments. Like it was Kieran Culkin showing the award, like the envelope, to the camera as he was walking away. Like, I'm not joking here, he won. Like, I'm not trying to bullshit you. Like, don't get mad at me. And then the other one that I noticed is when Kumail, he announced, what was it, Best Documentary or Best Short Film?
It was Best Short Documentary.
Yes, that. So when it was announced as a tie, he handled that brilliantly. Like, I won't say much for the first group of people. Like, they were kind of like, that's a tie, and kind of being a little snarky about it. But he handled that very well by saying, like, look, first people will come up, give their speech, and then I will announce the next person. Like, I think he handled that very well. That was just something I noticed throughout the night. A lot of actors are like, I'm covering my ass. I'm not having my La La Land Moonlight moment.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But,
and speaking of surprising wins, Amy Madigan for Weapons.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting way to start the night.
Yeah.
It was an interesting way to start the night. I'm going to be completely transparent. Of all of the wins from last night, this is probably the one that I'm most outwardly disagree with. Not to say that Amy Madigan was bad in Weapons or that she doesn't deserve an Oscar. You know, she's had a long storied career, but if you watch Sentimental Value and you watch Weapons and you look me in the eye and tell me that you think Amy Madigan had a better performance than either of Elle Fanning or Inga Elias, Ibn's daughter Elias, that woman whose name I always screw up, I just don't trust you. Like that, it's just not an opinion that I can get behind. Yeah. So while I try to be understanding and respectful of, like, I can see how this maybe deserved to win, or like I can get it, this is one where I just don't. Like it boggles my mind that this happened, frankly.
Yeah, I know. I really agree. I guess the Academy was very enamored with the performance. Like it caught me off guard, and it made me like think that, like, oh, the Oscars might be a little more all over the place, like in the voting, just because. And I know, like, a big deal was like, this is like the first time that everybody in the Academy has to watch every single film nominated, which is a weird thing that wasn't the regular way to do it.
Yeah.
But it changed a little bit. I don't think it changed as much as I thought it would. I think that was like one of like two major surprises for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Max, what are your thoughts?
I have it on record. We have our review. I was not a fan of Weapons. And also I was not a fan of the performance. Mostly because, like, I agree that the parts that everybody loves with her in the red wig and the bad makeup are very entertaining. But that's not the whole movie. Like, that is a very, very small portion of the movie that is entertaining, I will admit. But, like, the other parts of the performance were just every which I've ever seen. And I will say it again here that, like, I think if she kept that, like, weird, odd grandma performance throughout the whole thing, I would have agreed more with this. But the fact that, like, there are scenes in that movie where I'm like, this is, like, any, like, A24-ish witch movie that I've seen before. And I don't think she's bad at it. It's just something I've seen before. And
Right.
I just wish that like the parts that I didn't see before were throughout the whole performance. And like I think this is also like the Academy, like Trey, you said it a little bit with them having to watch every movie. This is also them kind of like being more open to horror movies and trying to be like, hey, we're cool and we're hip. We know what people like. They like that Aunt Gladys.
Yeah,
but
like at risk of just glazing the same few movies that I really enjoyed, there was a better art house horror movie with a female lead who was a distraught older woman that came out last year by an equally Academy Award nominated actress.
Oh yeah, Bring Her Back, right?
Yes, Sally Hawkins and Bring Her Back was also a horror movie performance. Also in like, it was all the same stuff, but for whatever reason, Weapons got the attention, and it baffles me. I've never fully gotten the hype behind Weapons. I was also on record as not being a huge fan of it. Zach Kreger makes a good scary basement movie, but after this and Barbarian, I'm starting to think that might be the only string to his bow.
I mean, he's got Resident Evil next.
That's true. And you know what Resident Evil is famous for? A number of subterranean locations with lots of zombies in them. So I guarantee you there will be an evil basement in that movie as well.
I don't know. I thought she was adorable, Amy Madigan. Like, her speech was adorable.
Yeah, I'm not saying Amy Madigan herself doesn't deserve to win an Oscar.
No.
I'm saying that that performance is a baffling choice for supporting actress. And we probably do need to move on for the sake of time.
Yes.
But do any of y'all have any wrap-up thoughts on supporting actress before we move on to lead actress?
It was an adorable reaction, especially like the laugh cry at the beginning. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
I like that part.
Amy Madigan seems like a super sweet human being, and I'm happy for her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, from an objective, critical sense, I just don't think that was the performance for me.
Yeah.
And speaking a little similarly of that, I hate to be a contrarian, but this is also a little bit how I felt about lead actor.
Really?
So Jessie Buckley won for Hamnet, and you'll recall, like, I don't even really need to restate this, so I'm just going to get this over with, and then I want to hear what you guys have to say. But as I've said repeatedly, I think Jessie Buckley, that performance gave her a lot of opportunities to go bigger in some ways. And I think that was really beneficial for a win. But frankly, to be completely transparent with you, it's not the performance that I'm going to remember from this year, which will always be Renee Dorinza in sentimental value. And she should have won to me. The only solace I take is that she's young and she's a great actress, and she will win an Oscar at some point, similar to Chalamet, right? Like, it will happen. She's too early in her career for a loss like this to matter, but also she should have won. So that's my 2 cents. Curious to hear what y'all think about this particular one.
It was very, like, in my opinion, I feel like it was very even. I don't think I didn't get to see Sentimental Value. I didn't get to see, did If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You also get a nomination for that?
Yeah.
It did, yeah, Rose Byrne.
Yeah, I also didn't get to see that. I did see Begonia, and I can understand why Emma Stone wouldn't win, because I think it's a matter of fatigue. Like, she is in a lot of heavy-hitting movies.
Yeah, and they're all directed by Yorgos fucking Lanthimos.
Yeah. And I do think she did a good job in that movie. Like, I think her character was compelling, but I also think, like, everybody in that movie was very compelling. Like, I loved how absurd it was, but I just think it was very even. I felt like that was a coin toss, I think. But, like, you could put all their names on the wheel, and if it landed randomly, you had the same chance of guessing correctly on who would win that Oscar.
That's fair.
Yeah. No, 100%. I agree. It was a very stacked category. And I think, you know, on some level, similar to Michael B. Jordan, I think this is a big moment for Jessie Buckley, who's also at a stage in her career where I think she's about to really take off. Save for The Bride, right? I think we're going to start seeing her in more good stuff
I still
in the
want to
imminent
see
future.
I still want to see that. We're going to review it. I want to see it.
Oh my God. Anyways, I'm happy for Jessie Buckley, and it's, you know, she was good in Hamnet, so I'm happy that a good performance won, even if it's not the good performance that I would have personally chose. And this sort of leads to what I think was, broadly speaking, one of the more frustrating parts of the night for me, was it felt like there were really only 2 movies that were nominated for, like, most categories, practically speaking. And that was really frustrating because, like, you know, I've rewatched it recently, so I feel pretty confident in saying this, but, like, Sentimental Value might be one of my favorite movies, like, ever. And so it was really frustrating to see the same 2 movies win and not see pretty much any love outside of international film feature film for a movie that I think was absolutely deserving of some flowers. Was very frustrating, and I think speaks to the fact that the Academy is nominally more interested in foreign language films, but between the treatment of this and The Secret Agent and it was just an accident, and Surat, and the million other fantastic foreign language films that came out this year, it's pretty clear that interest is mostly on its face. And I think that continues to be an issue and continues to be very frustrating.
I feel like The Secret Agent didn't get as much love as like the press was trying to make it seem. It almost feels like they were just trying to give it a participation trophy because of so much complaining on not including international films. It shouldn't have taken until 2020 for something like Parasite to win Best Picture. In my opinion. And I do think that like The Secret Agent is like they're just kind of checking off a list. At the same time, this is a tough year to be in the Oscars race.
Yeah.
But for an international film to be in this race and to be considered for Best Picture is like that's extremely notable, and it wasn't getting the awards that like would make it seem like it's notable. Like
exactly.
There's like a lot of caveats to it, but that's how I feel about it.
100% I agree. It feels like they want to make progress but never commit to that progress, right?
Yeah.
It's also like worth noting, even in the case of Parasite, we have to remember that like outside of Best Picture, it didn't even win that many awards, right? If I recall correctly. I believe it won for screenplay and director, but that might have been it outside of picture.
Well, I mean, if you're going to win anything...
Yeah, but like you take my point when it's like when we're talking about technical stuff, when we're talking about acting performances, I feel like those categories, even when they receive nominations, they get devalued by English-speaking critics who aren't taking certain elements of the film seriously. It's deeply frustrating for a year that had so many great international films that we nominated fucking F1 over like any of the movies that I've mentioned, right? Like, come on.
I haven't seen F1. I've heard it's fine. I heard it's like...
It's fine. I did watch it. It's the okayest movie you'll ever see. It was all right.
I don't know. I feel like it's always the smaller categories that really get to branch out with all the really cool foreign films. It's always like best short, best documentary, best short documentary. Like there's always those awards that really get to like showcase like the foreign side of film. But yeah, it is always like best picture in the actors and actress races that just usually don't go far with like that kind of representation. Hell, like, I mean, it's really cool, even though it wasn't nominated for any big nominations, but the little representation that RRR had at the Oscars that one year made so many people happy. When that won like best song, like, yeah, that was, that like, people were so happy for that, and for good reasons.
Yeah, well, I mean, I also think it's just like the Academy will continue to be the Academy, and after a big win for like indie filmmaking last year with Anora, this felt like a pretty standard Oscars, you know? Like it felt like everything went exactly how I would expect the Academy to behave, right down to playing it overly safe, right down to ignoring movies in languages that they didn't speak, right down to original song being a popularity contest. Not that Golden is a bad song, but also not that it was an undeserving win, but also you get what I mean.
That was a tough one, and it was pretty funny, like how this year they didn't have any of the other songs play, which I do think is a good thing, because it's like, look, we understand what you're here for. As much as like those singers and songwriters put a lot of effort into those songs, this is a numbers game. And this is, and like people talk about I Lied to You, and to be fair, I listen to I Lied to You more than I have Golden, but Golden it's a very popular song. Like you can't escape it. Like it's everywhere. And to be fair, I appreciate what they did on stage with I Lied to You. And I did really like a lot of little funny details in that performance, especially the part with them having like Jack O'Connell and the two other actors who were the vampires not being allowed on stage. Very funny detail.
That was really good.
And also shout out to Jack O'Connell for wearing the vampire teeth. Really cool.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I did think the Golden performance was really cool to watch, but to be fair, I have to imagine like this is nothing new for them. They are doing this on tour.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Again, it's
yeah,
not a win that I'm upset about, but it
no.
is like, you get what I mean. Like, it feels like the
Mm-hmm.
Oscars were in a very standard operating mode this year, and
Mm-hmm.
I had hope that maybe things would be different, and they were not,
But yeah, I mean, it
which
was
was frustrating.
yeah, like, and I mean, even best animated picture, which I love animation, so like I'm always very curious to see what's gonna win. But I was like, it's K-pop.
K-pop is a good film and probably deserving of a win, but
Mm-hmm.
we also have to remember this is another instance of Academy voters who historically have not had to watch all the movies, probably did this year, but the logic has always prevailed that typically the movie that wins Best Animated Picture is the one that the most number of Academy voters' children watched.
Yeah.
And that was
Well, not
unquestionably
last
K-pop
year.
Demon Hunters.
Not last year.
That is true. That was a rare instance of that not being the case because the Academy really liked Flow. But again, we're back to normality now. We had a
Yeah.
brief glimmer of hope last year, and this year I can confidently say whatever hope I had for the Academy being different is gone.
Oh.
But that's okay. Maybe next time. The thing about the Academy is the difference between what gets nominated and what wins is often very different. And I think we saw that with One Battle After Another and Sinners, right? Like they nominated both, but at the end of the day, the Academy picked the drama movie directed by a white guy with a slightly more neutral or like not neutral, but like less hands-on approach to a lot of the racial elements in the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they did a horror movie by a black director that tackled those issues way more head on. And I think that that's pretty indicative of the more things change, the more they kind of stay the same element, unfortunately.
I have the exact same take. I do think One Battle, in its peripheral, mentioned an issue socially, but it was really just the stage of the actual like narrative around it. It was just the stage of like what was like happening around the narrative. I think Coogler does a good job of this, but like Coogler is tackling many cultures at once.
Yeah.
And accurately at that. And what he's doing is he's not trying to like beat down a message, but he's trying to show something through the reactions of the main characters in order to like, and instead of using it as a stage, it's used as indirect exposition to where like some of these things, like some of the audience understands certain reactions without it having to be explained to you as Netflix calls it, as like a second screen type writing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And okay, I mean, we should wrap up, but I will say, having just rewatched it on Saturday, as much as I do agree with that point, Sinners does kind of have viewers are on their phone syndrome a little bit. I had forgotten the number of scenes in that movie where they say something and then feel obliged to cut to a flashback of whatever they're referencing. So I can't absolve Coogler of that fully, but I do think that the way that some of the race stuff is handled in that movie is definitely I get what you mean. I agree. I just can't fully absolve Sinners of that, unfortunately.
Hey, no movie's perfect. I have certain issues when it comes to like the handling of background actors in that movie.
Okay, we've got enough.
Sorry, I just.
But we need to probably wrap up. So I like to sort of finish off this episode. Do any of you have any sort of parting thoughts you want to share?
I agree with you, Andrew, that like Frankenstein won more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy about. I think that movie was like almost flawlessly executed.
Yeah.
And watching it multiple times, I'm like, I can't find anything that I really hate about this movie. Like, I don't even find anything that I really dislike, other than like, and it's not even a dislike. It's just Del Toro had to get in his action sequence. He had to scratch that itch a little bit.
Hey, but it's fucking cool.
Yeah, it was.
I agree with everything Trey just said. I left this Oscars not as like pumped about movies as I was last year's, where I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited for the future. Maybe that's just the slate of movies we have out this year, maybe the state of the world or anything like that. But I will say, but I do think like the handling of the Oscars was a bit odd, like just from a technical, like there was just a lot of weird things that I was noticing, like hot mic. I mean. I know it's rich of me, of all people, to be talking about bad audio quality, but just hear me out. But there was a lot of weird hot mic issues that were happening throughout the night. I mean, hell, like one of the I mean, we talked about K-pop earlier, but like that poor guy just got his moment cut, and they were like, "No, we're not cutting back to you." Like poor Conan, they cut to Conan. Conan's just like looking like, "Why are you cutting to me? Like, what's going on here?" Like there was a lot of weird stuff like that, so I think that definitely kind of hindered the overall presentation for me. But yeah, I don't know. Like I haven't seen one battle, so I really have no opinion on that winning, other than like I still think I'm gonna be talking about Sinners more. I mean, hell, this is the fourth time we talked about it on this channel.
With that, I think we should probably wrap up. Thanks to both of you for being on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Max, it's your show, so I guess I'm hosting, but I felt obligated to thank you anyways.
Oh, it's nice to be on this end.
Please, if you liked this video, be sure to like it and subscribe to our channel. We talk about so many movies, Oscar and non-Oscar. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of cool videos coming up this year, so please be sure to subscribe for that reason. Give Max money on Patreon. Keep watching our videos and keep watching movies.